one of the first things I wrote when, coming up with the idea. And for me, it's like important to come to write down all my ideas into a one pager because then it's easy to present it to possible funders. It's very simple and they don't want to read a script first. They want to read something that's very simple like this, that explains like the general story, the general plot, who we're going to meet, um, and also the approach of the film. So whenever you're pitching a film, developing a film idea, I think it's always a good exercise to see if how much of the film you could write in one page, because then you can share it easily with producers, with possible studios. This goes for fiction film too, narrative. I think you start with a one pager, then you can build up to a treatment. The one pager is almost like a synopsis, right? Then you build up to the treatment. I can show you the treatment that we created. So from that one pager, we sent it out to different like producers, and this producer, Julia Nottingham, who had seen Live from New York at the London Film Festival, she asked me what I was working on next, and I told her I was developing this project about Bruce Lee. And then so she helped me develop this treatment so we can go out to financiers and pitch it. So from a one pager, it grew to a 15-page treatment.
And so how long does it take to make this?
If you have the fortune of being paired with a producer, they can also help you do the research. But I find, as a director, I want to know as much about the story as possible. And so I did a lot of the research beforehand myself. It depends on how fast you write and your ideas, but this took me maybe a couple of weeks. It's an expansion of the one pager, right? There's more images. It shows you like the visual storytelling. I think one of the things that's important, especially if there's people who are doing scripted projects, there's like context into the world a bit. If you want to try to pitch something to international audiences, maybe like say, I helped produce ROM, and not a lot of people outside Vietnam knows what soda is, right? The lottery system. So we had like a whole page explaining what that is to film festivals and different producers. You always have to think of who's reading your materials. They have to understand it. And one of the things is very important because as directors too, we're very visual people and we can imagine the story in our mind, but it's hard to tell a producer like what we're thinking in our mind. So how we tell the story, the visual approach, the visual style is really important on these type of documents. I get pretty specific about like how the story will move in the film, right?
Mm-hmm.
I talk as much as possible. The images on the right are almost like what I exactly imagine the film to look like. If you have time to do your own photo shoot with your project, that's fine. But also think of films that you love and take screen grabs from them. This is from, I think, In the Mood for Love. And so I took this from another film and then I put Bruce Lee's face on it. So you have to be creative.